When we come to 2 Timothy, Timothy was facing quite a difficult time because of persecution, and he was discouraged. And we know from verse 7 that he was tempted to have a spirit of fear, because Paul said, God's not given you the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And Paul was writing to help combat that spirit of fear. And to help him, Paul said the most unusual thing. He said, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith, that is the unbendable, unbreakable, real faith, which is in you, Timothy, which dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I'm persuaded that in you also. Now, wait a minute. Timothy is discouraged. He's dealing with the spirit of fear. And to combat that spirit of fear, Paul says, wait, Timothy, you've got a real faith. In fact, the faith that you had first was in your grandmother. It was in your mother, and it's in your family also. Now, why in the world is he talking about Timothy's grandmother and mother when it's him that's dealing with the battle? He says in the next verse, wherefore I put you in remembrance that you stir up the gift of God which is in you by the putting on of my hands. A better translation would be, I'm reminding you of all these things. I'm reminding you about your faith. I'm reminding you about how faith lived and thrived in your grandmother. I'm reminding you about how faith lived in your mother. And now that faith is in you. I'm reminding you of all these things. Now this is what the Greek really says. I'm reminding you of all these things that by you remembering them, you can stir up the gift of God which is in you. The power of memory. When you're discouraged, it's probably because you're just looking at your troubles. But if you turn around and remember how God has been faithful to you in your past, how God has been faithful to your family, when you remember all the things that God has walked you through already and walk all the way up until the present, by remembering all those things, you'll stir yourself up, because the truth is, what you've already faced in life is probably bigger and more difficult than the thing that you're facing right now. You're just struggling, and Timothy was struggling because of a poor memory. Remember all the things that God has done, and by remembering, you'll stir yourself up to believe God again right now. That's something for you to think about today.